Big shout out to our point of view skier BFs, Paul Stutz. Thanks, Stutsy. Good to have you in the house, brother.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. Cate bronze porte le peu, se porte la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Justine Tyrell, everybody. Thank you so much, Justine. The singing of Canada's national anthem a cappella. Beautiful, beautiful job, girl. All right, we've had a couple of our forerunners come down. Looks like Mike Gillespie was across. Takeo Watanabe was through. We had the POV camera compliments of Paul Stutz. Gonna find out if we got anybody left that's willing to drill it in the forerunners situation before we get things going. Here with the fifth and final event of this year's 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships right here at Panorama.
I don't mean to brag, Drew, but I did just get the microphone that Justine sang the Canadian anthem on.
Gang, we're just going to get a little course report from Paul Stutz. We can get the music dropped down just a tiny little bit. Bam's Paul Stutz, fresh off the World Cup circuit, just retired at the end of last season. So, Paul, what's it like to get back in the slalom course?
You know what? That's so much fun to be able to do that. So thank you guys again for having me. It's going to be an awesome race today. We have a very firm slope and a great course set. So I think it's going to be a challenge for sure for everyone, but it's going to be an awesome race.
Once again, thanks so much, Paul, for carrying the POV camera for us. Great to get a course report from you. We're looking forward to some hot, fast slalom action here. As we mentioned just a little while ago, we've got the women's slalom visually impaired group coming out of the start gate first. That will be Great Britain's Millie Knight. Her guide, Jen Kehoe, will be first, followed by the Russians, Alexandra Franceva, Semen Playaskin, her guide, Melissa Perrine, and Andrew Bohr from Australia will be skiing third. Out of the gate fourth from the United States will be Danielle Umstead with her guide husband, Robert, I should say. Two Belgians coming back to back. First off, Eleanor Sana and her guide, Chloe Sana, and wrapping up the women's slalom visually impaired category will be Marie Morgan Desart and her guide, Alain Struman. It's going to be fun. Still waiting on a little bit of sunshine. I feel good about it. Ladies and gentlemen, first team on course, visually impaired group. I ask you to be very careful. big sigh of relief. First team out of the start gate, right down the pitch, right onto the transition, and across the finish line. Great skiing for the Great Britain's duo of Amelie Knight and her guide Jen Kehoe, 1:08.79. Next team on course from Russia, Alexandra Frantseva and her guide, Semen Plyaskin. As an FYI, Alexandra won Sunday's giant slalom event. All right, our second team across the finish line from Russia, Alexandra Frantseva, Semen Plyaskin. Their first run time, a 1:02.64, not holding back. That brings us to our third pairing, Australia's Melissa Perrine, her guide, Andrew Bohr. So she just put out. Alexandra was first in the women's visually impaired giant slalom race on Sunday. She was followed by Great Britain's Amelie Knight, and the skier on course right now, Australia's Melissa Perrine, was third. All right, the Aussies finish run one. Time for Melissa and Andrew, a 1:04.51. Our third team about to launch out of the start gate from the United States, Danielle Umstead and her guide, Robert Umstead.
See, the athletes are just playing smart right now. This is a two-run race. It is getting attention ultimately on this type of thing.
From the United States, Robert Umford guiding wife Danielle across the finish line. Their time of 1:19.76. 15 out of the start gate. First of two Belgian duels to head our way will be Eleanor Sana and her guide, Chloe Sana. Okay, it looks like the pitch gave them some trouble. I'm not sure whether they slid below the gate. We're going to find out if they're going to continue or not.
You can see just attacking that line a little bit harder and just trying to be a little more aggressive than maybe some of the athletes before. And again, this slope is so unforgiving. It's deceiving on the camera here. You know, it doesn't look terribly steep from our point of view, but it is. It is incredibly steep and icy as well. You know, it's making a skating rink look soft.
Okay, with our first duel from Belgium, the Sanas, Eleanor and Chloe, not completing their first run. It moves us to our second pairing. This will be Marie Morgan Desart and her guide, Alain Struman. Yeah, great skiing. Marie Morgan Desart, Alain Struman, their first run time, 1:20.62. So Josh, what do you reckon? Visibility, is that flight light playing into it today?
I don't think so. It's keeping a fair visibility on the track, so even light throughout. It looks like where there is a little bit of darkness, the dye has filled that in. I think the biggest challenge today is going to be the pitch and, of course, the iciness. But I think at home, live here, the audience at the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships, we need to be making lots of noise because every athlete, every pairing that makes it across the line has done something fantastic today. We love you guys. The crowd here at Panorama has been incredible all week, and they're not slowing down today. What a fantastic 4 days ahead or behind us of competition we've had. And the final event today, Slalom, which I do know is something that the Canadian team is very excited for.
Yeah, probably playing into our favor a little tiny bit, Josh, is the opportunity for some early season training on that pitch. So they have a slight amount of familiarity with that. That might play into our favor. The other thing is they're at home. They've been skiing at home all week. They gotta love that. That does not happen very often for our North American teams to get a chance to race for an extended period of time on home soil. I know the Canadians are eating it up. And they love to hear that noise. Once we've got our visually impaired group taken care of, as we have, you are free to fly. You can make as much noise anytime you want. They love it. They're going to be able to hear you on this final pitch as we've got our next skier on course right now. Women's slalom standing, our first skier on course from the United States, Stephanie Jalen. Want to let you know this girl stood on the third step of the podium on Sunday in giant slalom, so she is hungry. She wants a little bit more. Let's find out what she's got. Josh, this girl's a favorite of yours, I know.
Well, I always just find it so impressive. How can she stay balanced? One arm, one leg missing on her left side. It's unbelievable. And she's a ray of sunshine. She is one of the nicest ladies on the circuit, always bringing cheer wherever she goes. And she's attacking this track right now. Like, she's really not holding back. This is really impressive to see.
Stephanie Jalen right in on those gates. She is firing. Here she comes on the line. Great first run for the U.S.'s Steph Jalen.
Woo! That's got to be a burner.
1:05:01 first run time for Stephanie Jalen. She's going to come back live. She's going to be willing to drill it for the second run. You just watch. Our next skier on course in the women's standing category from Russia, Maria Papulova. Papulova finished 5th in Sunday's giant slalom. Probably looking for a little bit of redemption here. This is great to see. There was a lot of uncertainty this morning on the part of our slope teams, all of the volunteers, coaches, wondering how the athletes were going to be able to adapt to these firm conditions. It looks like they've got it dialed. Papulova got it going on. Bottom series of turns approaching the finish line. She could stick it in here. She's going to put down a good one. Let's give it up for Russia's Maria Papulova. 1:02:85.
I do have to wonder to myself right now, Drew, if two legs will be an advantage on this icy surface today. Coming from a sit ski point of view, I know it's very difficult to stay balanced. We saw Stephanie Jalen on one ski do a very, very good job, tear this course apart. But of course, Russia's Maria Papulova had a smoking fast time, and perhaps it's because she had two skis to operate from.
That's a possibility. Just to check through our current times, going back to the women's slalom visually impaired category, Russia's Alexandra Frantseva and her guide Semen Plyaskin have the fastest time so far overall, not that that counts, with a 1:02:64. Papulova is second with a 1:02:85, okay? That being said, we've got lots more racing coming at us. We've got another Russian on course right now, Anastasia Korasheva. Korasheva working it down the bottom. Adjusting well to that rhythm change. Last two turns. Here she comes from Russia. Anastasia Korasheva with a first run time of 1:08:42.
Netherlands' Anna Jogmanson is in the gate up next and on course. So as afraid of folks, if you attack this hill early on, it is gonna be a beast.
Yeah, if you try and take a chunk out of this slope, it's going to bite back. It's steep. We were trying to get an idea as to how steep that main pitch is, but it's got to be well over 35 degrees. 35 degrees is steep when the snow is grippy. When the snow is slippy, it's insane.
Yeah, 35 to 40 degree average pitch coming down hay fever here, and with the conditions, it's basically you fall, you're going to do everything to come to a stop. You're going to slide to the bottom.
I think the better part of the course workers are all equipped with crampons just to be able to maneuver around on that pitch.
United States of America, Melanie Schwartz on course now.
You can see you've got to walk that, ski that fine line between charging and playing it smart. You get a little bit overzealous. Maybe apply a little bit too much of a turning effort to the ski before it's on edge and really holding well for you. It's going to slip out.
A lot of these athletes are seeing this slope for the very first time, and it can be a huge head game for them. You know, they see the slope, inspecting it as a challenge on its own. Melanie makes it off the top pitch. She's coming home. She skied this lower part of the hill before. All week she's got miles on it. Will that play into her confidence now?
If it's possible, Josh, she's got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief, having negotiated that main pitch. A little bit of a slip up high, but she seems to have things well in hand down through here. She keeps working like this. She's going to get herself a second run. Here she comes. 2 gates from the finish. Make some noise for the Americas. Pride and joy, Melanie Schwartz.
In the gate, Russia's Inga Medvedeva, followed by Canada's Alana Ramsey. Medvedeva on course.
Inga Medvedeva finished 9th in Sunday's women's giant slalom standing category. Josh did mention that this bottom section, once they come off the hay fever slope and move on to old timer, the athletes have skied this piece of terrain in various forms, either downhill, super G, in the super combined, where they did have a slalom's course set on it. So they are going to feel a lot more comfortable when they make this turn and drop into this series of gates approaching the finish line. Here she comes from Russia, Inga Medvedeva. Good skiing from the Russian. She's going to put down a good time. Check this one out. 109.70. So much of this first run, Josh, is about headspace, right? All right, I got one in the bank. I'm okay. It wasn't quite as icy as I thought. I stuck it. I got across the finish line. I'm going to drill it for the second run.
Ramsey looking solid here. I had a chance to train with her earlier this week. She said she was feeling it in slalom. She's confident and yet respectful to this hill, and that's exactly how you want to approach it.
Now we got to really turn the volume up for Alana when she comes around the turn off the final pitch on hay fever, heading towards us and heading towards home. Fingers crossed for Alana. We're going to see what she's got. Here she comes.
Oh, she's flowing down the mountain right now. She's off the steep pitch. She's on familiar terrain. And just nice, consistent turns left to right.
That's right, everybody. Let's bring her home. From Canada. 2 gates to go. Alana Ramsey. 109.48. First run time for Alana. That's going to give her a huge boost. Be able to light that fire, get ready to rock and roll on run number 2.
On course, United States of America's Katrina Shaber.
Shaber finished 10th in the giant slalom on Sunday. Oh, a slip there. So Shaber appears to be climbing back up, which is fine. She is allowed to do this. Okay, so she's gone down, but she went through the gates as she was falling.
You can see it's just such a fine line coming down hay fever here. If you push it a little too much, it can get away real quick. It's really important for a lot of the athletes to fight hard to get a second run, because some of this is just developing experience for these guys.
That coupled with the fact that this is slalom racing and absolutely everything will happen on a slalom race day. If you don't finish the first run, you don't get to find out how well you could have done. Katrina Shaver. Look at that sun beginning to creep on to the bottom pitch of hay fever. It's coming our way, everybody. Be patient. We're going to see it not too long. Right now, what we are seeing is the United States Katrina Shaver on the final pitch, heading towards the finish line. Consistent turns, making sure she wants run number 2. And I think she just might get it. Here she comes. Crossing the finish line. United States, Katrina Shaver with a 1:55.72.
You have got to love that effort. Double pulling across the line to try and find as much speed as you can. These athletes are determined.
Yeah, great exhibition of determination. A lot of fight in that girl. Next from Romania will be Laura Velanu. Velanu was 8th on Sunday's GS here at Panorama. See what she's got now that she's on the short skis. All right, she's looking pretty good. This particular discipline really sees a big change in what the skiers are standing on. Much shorter, very, very tight turning radius. Looks like she's got a really good one going here, Josh. 2 from the finish. Here she comes from Romania, Laura Velanu. Wow.
Great first
106.
run time. She definitely found that balance of being aggressive, being confident, but really respecting the conditions and the slope today. On deck, Germany's Andrea Rothfuss, historically a strong slalom skier. I know she's had a very successful 4 silver medals this week. Surely she's going to want more. However, I'm looking back up, and I see her on the side of the track. Not sure what happened, but leading me to believe that she might have been one of the athletes coming down hard, you know, wanting to win, taking chances. And again, this hill is mean.
Absolutely right. We'll hope for a little bit of a replay.
France's Marie Boucher on course.
Boucher has stood on the top step of the podium every single event we've had here at Panorama this week. Incredible display of athleticism and technical prowess. So I'm gonna have to say my money's on the French woman right now. Watch this. Through the sun, working across the side hill, and turning and burning towards the finish line. Beautiful, clean, carved turns.
And this is what you need to do. In the bottom section here, you really need to hammer down. As soon as you get off the hay fever pitch, you need to go all the way. And she did just that. Very strong run by Boucher. It's good, but not in the green. I think that is good enough for second position out of first run. We will confirm that.
We're going to do that right now. Unofficially, the fastest time.
One second, Drew. Canada's Aaron Latimer is on course right now. We'll get back to the update in a minute. Aaron's having a great run here right now. Again, just that perfect balance of being confident and aggressive, which you need to do to survive that upper pitch. Coming off of it clean with great speed, and now she's stepping on it. This is a great run by Aaron Latimer.
All right, here she comes, Canada. Our second Canadian of the morning in the women's slalom standing. Latimer looking great.
She's got to be happy with the service on her skis right now. The technician's working very hard to make sure that they have a sharp ski to be able to afford these icy conditions. Oh, great run by Latimer. That's a good first run time as well, 1:09.01. On course, Slovakia's Petra Smarzova.
Second to last skier we have in the women's slalom standing category. So Smartsova had a great GS race on Sunday, finishing 4th just off the podium. And to let you know, as we go back to the times, Boucher from France, the second fastest time of the 1:02.86. Just ahead of her is Russia's Maria Papalova with a 1:02.85. Here comes Smartsova. Smartsova very quick edge to edge. A little bit of a slip there, but right back on top of it. Whoa. Oh, you can see she just pivoted the skis a little bit in an effort, drifted a bit low, and then caught a tip. Tough luck for Slovakia's Petra Smartsova.
Canada, let's show her some love. That was a fantastic run to the very end. Petra Smarzova. Not the way she wanted to finish this week's World Championships, but she's got to be proud of the effort she put down.
All right, our final skier in the women's standing category. Hooked up a little bit. Sliding down the hill, and we're going to take a look at what happened here. Seemed to have gotten a little bit low. Tried to stand it back up. It didn't work, so now she's on for the big slide. Here she goes. Okay, we've got the course workers just over beside her, making sure everything's all right.
This skier that we've been determining how to pronounce her name, it's Ilma Kazazik from what I believe is Bosnia-Herzegovina, but
that's right.
I'm gonna leave
Josh.
that one for confirmation. That was my best effort.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's all right. We've got a lot of great safety and paramedic crew here on course to attend to any injuries that may happen, knowing she's in good hands. I can get excited for the next category, women's slalom sitting. Canada's very own Kimberly, join us. Followed by Austria's Claudia Loesch, Germany's Annalena Forster, United States' Laurie Stevens, followed by Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber, Japan's Momoko Murako, and rounding out the bunch, Australia's Victoria Pendergast for the women's sitting category coming up. This is going to be tight. This is going to be competitive. I know Kimberly skied this hill. She has the confidence. She has the ability. And she is a very competitive young lady, so I'm excited to see the game she chooses to play today.
We'll just give you the results from Sunday's women's giant slalom sitting category. We had Laurie Stevens finishing in 5th position. Laurie out of the United States. Germany's Annalena Forster finished 4th. Japan's Momoka Muraoka from Japan was on the podium in 3rd spot. Austria's Claudia Loesch finished 2nd. And the win went to Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber. So we're going to find out whether those gals, any of those names, are actually in the mix for first run action here in the sitting category for slalom.
What you doing?
I do motivational talks.
Yeah.
So go school groups or corporate groups.
Me too, I do.
Yeah. So I do that, and I want to do a travel show, adventure travel.
Travel show?
Yeah, so a TV show.
Okay.
Be the host of a TV show and just go do different adventures. So maybe I'll come visit you in Switzerland and you can show me around and we can do a rotobahn or do something different.
Yeah.
And then you can take me skiing and
Sure.
then maybe I'll go to Great Britain and Sean Rose will show me his wind kite. But to start, I'm going to start in North America.
Yeah.
And just record and document adventure travel.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Starting point for it. That's about it right now.
Yeah.
Just focusing on being a dad. And
Yeah.
I still free ski. I still do a lot of filming
Yeah.
and free ski.
Yeah. So you earn money with the filming? Yeah. No?
No, they pay for everything.
Okay.
But I don't get paid.
Okay.
Hey, Steph, great run.
All right, we're just a couple of moments away from our women's sitting category.
On course, Kimberly joined us, showing us what she's got in her back pocket on this hay fever upper pitch. For sure, I know Kimberly's going to be disappointed right now, but I'm very proud of her the way she just came out of the start with confidence, with an aggressive nature to it. It is just a tough hill, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to be easy. It is a game of attrition. Kimberly wanted it. Kimberly went for it, and unfortunately, she'll be a little disappointed.
We got to give her
with
props
that.
for coming down. She was hammering on that ski. Tough luck for Canada's Kimberly Joynes, but I've got to tell you, in the world of slalom ski racing, it is war out there. You've got to measure the amount of aggression and charge that you put down versus playing it a little bit safe. Kimberly was completely fired up there. She was putting down a great couple of turns off the top and just got skidded sideways. And then fighting to get it reversed around, she ended up losing the edge and spinning out. Really tough luck for Canada's Kimberly Joynes.
Austria's Claudia Loesch on deck.
As we mentioned earlier on, Loesch second in Sunday's GS. Let's find out what she's going to throw down on the slalom here on hay fever.
Definitely very positive on her edge, which is good to see. A little more conservative than Kimberly was coming down, but maybe that's the tactic today. Maybe you just need to be a little bit looser around the gate. Because this pitch where Claudia's coming into right now, again, it is averaging 35 to 40 degrees of blue ice. Comes off the pitch well. Looks like Claudia was well prepared for today's course. Wow, strong skiing here by the Austrian.
Here she comes, coming down onto the final portion of the slalom set here at Panorama. About 15 turns from the finish. Here she comes. Let's make her feel welcome, everybody. From Austria. Making a gorgeous set of turns this bottom series on her way to the finish line. Let's give it up for Claudia Loesch.
That's a great run by Claudia. She was taking chances and pushing the line, which is what you need to do. Will it be good enough to stand up against the next 4 or 5 top skiers coming down? Annalena Forrester from Germany on track.
Annalena just missing the podium on Sunday with a 4th place finish in giant slalom. Perhaps looking for a little redemption today in the slalom. Sun beginning to make a move onto the track. She's probably starting to feel a little bit of solar gain as she makes her way through that sunny section.
This is a great run, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Annalena Forrester has a unique posture on her 60 where she appears to nearly be standing on it. But wow, does that ever allow her to be agile, make the quick moves that you need, make the adjustments that you need? This is a stomper. This is a great run by Annalena Forrester. She's going to be happy with that.
The time for Annalena Forster, a great 1:03.60. So just checking back on Annalena's information, and she was a silver medalist in the Super Combined, which is one run of the giant slalom, and then one run of slalom. So her slalom run today fits in just perfectly with her efforts from Sochi. We'll see how our next racer is going. This is the United States, Lori Stevens. Stevens finished in 5th spot on Sunday's giant slalom. Let's see how she fares on the slalom course today at Panorama.
Stevens not historically a big fan of the slalom event, but I'm very, very impressed today with how methodical she is coming down this track. She's putting down a smooth and consistent run. This is going to pay off. This is a smart tactic today. Just sometimes making her down, getting a second run is the tactic of the day.
And it looks like she is going to be eligible for that second run. From the United States, Lori Stevens in with a 1:21.69.
Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber is on deck, and it's going to be an interesting tactic choice for her today. You know, she's got to charge it if she wants to have a chance in the second run, but at the same time, you need to finish to even have that second run. So very excited to see what Schaffelhuber brings for us today.
Schaffelhuber on the top step of the podium on Sunday's GS. So she knows the taste of victory. We're going to find out what she's got to deliver this morning in the first run. Just like Josh said, you can't go all out. You got to save a little bit. Make sure you get to play in run number 2.
Slightly different approach for Schaffelhuber. She's keeping a very clean ski, which is nice, but allowing herself to stay off the panel on that pitch so she can keep speed. Sometimes that's just a darn fine strategy. Coming off the pitch into the sunshine, and now she's starting to find her mojo. She's feeling good. She's like, I am good at slalom, and check it out.
Just checking back at her record, 2013 World Champs gold in slalom. At Sochi, at the Paralympic Games, gold in slalom. This girl knows what it takes. She's on her way to the finish line right now. Make some noise for Germany's Anna Schaffelhuber. All right.
Rare is the day that a sit skier looks tired at the bottom of a track. You know, let's be honest, we just sit around all day. You can tell this hill is extremely demanding when all of the athletes are coming down, just gasping for breath, thinking, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just finished that.
On course from Japan, Momoka Muraoka. We'll watch Momo. Third in the GS on Sunday. Great to have her on the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a phenomenal run. Watch her just arc the ski all the way down the hill. The posture she has with her feet further out makes it a little more challenging to be tight to the gate. So she has to choose a different line. And again, being a bit newer to the sport, I'm amazed with how smart and how well she's skiing right now. This is a phenomenal performance. And ladies and gentlemen, she wants to hear you right now. She wants to hear the noise. A little bit of a stutter there, but that's not going to hold her back. The way Momoko can bend the ski and build speed, you see she's got it back already. The hiccup will hurt, but she's made up just fine for it.
Looks like Momoka skied to a silver medal at the Olympic Games. And how's she faring here? And that was in downhill. So being able to cross over and throw down a very respectable slalom first run. 1:14.63, the time for Japan's Momoka Muraoka.
Australia's Victoria Pendergast is our final athlete in the women's seated category right now. Very strong skier, huge improvements over the last few months.
Pendergast, clean, solid arc turns. Skiing within the limits. She knows it takes two to do any damage at all in slalom. So she wants to make sure that she's got a respectable first run, but a first run is the most important thing to achieve here. No point being fastest to the midway point if you blow out. That patch of sun getting bigger and bigger. Looks like the stands are almost entirely in the sun, which is great. We'll have that east side sunny in just a moment or two. In the meanwhile, here she comes. Australia's Victoria Pendergast.
Such a beautiful challenge for these athletes to try to find some harmony between their ski, the suspension on the sit ski, and how they sit on it. And obviously now Victoria's found that flow. She's looking smooth, coming across this final pitch.
Great last series of turns for Australia's Victoria Pendergast on the finish with a first run time of 1:23.14. All right, how about a big shout out to all of our female competitors in today's 3 categories. We're gonna have more ski racing from the ladies a little bit later on today. We're gonna do a quick slip of the course and get ready for the first of 3 men's categories. We're gonna kick it off with a men's slalom, visually impaired. Poland's Maciej Kretzel, his guide, Anna Ogarzinska, followed by the Czechs, Patrick Hetmer and Miroslav Makala as guide. Spain's Gabriel Juan Gorce-Yepes.
All right, Drew, I got Aaron Latimer here from Canada. I am just dying to know how the course felt this morning.
Well, a hill like hay fever never really feels good. The good thing, though, is that the surface is very consistent. So as long as you're staying ahead and staying aggressive, then you can really attack the course, and that's when you're going to do well.
Awesome. Well, you did just that today. You attacked, you were confident, but you were really smart coming down the track. I'm a little bit out of the loop right now, Aaron, but when I saw you come down the hill, I thought that was an incredible performance. Like, you really skied to your limit. Are you happy with today's first run?
I'm pretty happy. I've trained ski hay fever a couple times, and it can really feel bad. So it felt pretty decent, so I think that means that it was a good run, so I was happy.
So you have a great first run, really fast first time. What happens now? You have a little bit of time between first and second run. Do you just put your feet up and then wait for the second run? How does that work?
Yeah, we go watch. I'm going to watch a few racers, and then we go downstairs and eat, and then maybe do a couple warm-up runs so that we're on it for a second.
Good luck second run, Aaron. Really excited for you today.
Thank you.
Aaron Latimer, everybody.
And wait, shh. Ladies and gentlemen, visually impaired. Thank you.
All right, make a little bit of noise, folks. Welcome the Poles to the finish line. Maciej Kretzel, Anna Ogarzinska as guide. Their first run time, 1:20.6. 1:16 seconds. Our next pairing currently on course from the Czech Republic, Patrick Hetner and his guide, Miroslav Makala. All right, great first run action for our friends from the Czech Republic. Patrick Hetmer, Miroslav Makala. Their first run time, 1:05:34. And out of the start gate from Spain, racer Gabriel Gorte-Yepes with his guide, Josep Arnaud Ventura Ferrer. It looks like the Spaniards went out just before making the turn coming into the final section of Old Timer. Tough luck for Spain's Gabriel Gorte-Yepes and his guide Josep Arnau Ventura Ferrer. Our next team on course from Slovakia, Mikhail Beladic and his guide Martin Pavlak. All right, welcome them across the finish line, everybody. From Slovakia, Mikhail Beladic and his guide, Martin Pavlak. That's the first of two Slovakian teams coming at us right now. We've got Miroslav Haros and Maros Hudek as his guide. Out of the start and on course. Good skiing from the teams from Slovakia. Take a
Next
look at
on
that
deck.
time, everybody. 54.92 seconds. They tore it up. Miroslav Haros and Maros Hudic currently with the fastest time. Our next team up from the United States will be Mark Badham, his guide, Cade Yamamoto. And the boys from the U.S. across the line, Mark Badham, guide, Cade Yamamoto. Cade, you had me nervous there a couple of times, buddy. Looked over his shoulder and caught an edge. Our next duo from Russia, Ivan Frantsev and his guide, German Agronovsky. All right, on the finish line. From Russia, Ivan Frantsev, German Agronovsky, their first run time. 1 minute, 0.16 seconds. The team from Poland, Maciej Kretzel and Anna Ogarzinska, put down the identical time. On course next, our second team from Spain, John Santacana Meitgui and guide Miguel Galindo Garfe. Great first run for the Spaniards. Let's give it up for John Santacana Meitgui and his guide, Miguel Galindo Garfe. .57.57, putting them in second place in their category for run number 1. Next on course, the first of two Russian pairs, Alexander Fedoruk and Artem Zagorodsky. They will be followed by Valery Kazubov and his guide, Evgeny Gerolov. Good run for the Russians. Alexander Fedoruk and Artem Zagorodsky. Their first run time, a 1:03.82. Our second Russian pairing on course, Valery Kozubov and his guide, Evgeny Geroev. Fast feet for the Russians. This should be a good time for Valery Kozubov and his guide, Evgeny Geroev. Oh, yes, it is, a 54.98. Second fastest time of the day. Quick one so far held by Slovakia's Miroslav Haros and Maros Hudit. 54.98 by the Russians. And the Spaniards sit third currently with a 57.57. Italians on course. This is the last pairing in the men's visually impaired. Giacomo and his guy Achille Crispino. Bad luck for the Italians.
But that doesn't mean we can make some noise, crowd. Show them some love for what a great effort to that point on the track. Certainly a bit of a disappointing finish there for the Italian Gianmarco Bergagnolini and Achille Crispiano. However, we still love them for the efforts that they put down to that point. That will round out our men's visually impaired category. Moving into the standing category coming up in a couple minutes. What a glorious day here in Panorama, BC for the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships. The crowd is on fire. The athletes are putting down some phenomenal performances on this incredibly challenging slope today. It is sunny, it is beautiful. We have so many people to thank for an incredible week of venues, performances, good times all the way around. Our volunteers, the Whistler Weasel workers, and everyone else that's contributed to make these courses what they are today. A lot of people behind the scenes, a lot of volunteers making it happen, and of course all the support staff allowing the athletes to perform to the level that they do. Physios, ski technicians, doctors, and what's this, Kunzi? You guys have a doctor on your team? What was her name?
Her name is Regina Schelble.
And it is her birthday, so ladies and gentlemen, join me in wishing a very happy birthday to one of our many beautiful volunteers from the Swiss team. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Regina.
Happy
birthday to you.
Oh! It's so true what they say about us darn Canadian with our beady little eyes. We are a friendly bunch. So much love to everybody that's contributed this week to make this event such a phenomenal success. It is something to be very proud of if you're Canadian right now. And anybody across the world, what a phenomenal gathering and celebration of sport. On course, our first standing athlete, Alexander Alebiev of Russia.
While we've got Alexander making his way down the top section of the course, I want to remind everybody that we got a party happening tonight. And we will have torchlight parade and fireworks presentation at 8:30 this evening. Fireworks compliments of our very good friends at Global Fest. Remember, right outside at 8:30. Check it out. Here he comes. He's got it drilled. It's Russia's Alexander Alyapyev. Slalom standing category.
Oh, what a great first run for the men's standing category. Really charging down the hill with a 53.87. That's going to be a solid time. Let's see how it builds. Austria, make some noise for Thomas Groscher.
Thomas finishing 12th in the giant slalom on Sunday. 8th, the finish place for Alexander Alyapyev. These guys all right and around, all in the hunt. Everybody hungry, looking to do some more damage.
Really good to see how aggressive these athletes are coming out of the gate. It is, again, deceptively steep out of the beginning. And this guy was still hungry. Oh. Great effort out of the start. That's what we want to see from these athletes. This type of ferocity, pushing out of the gate. Obviously very disappointed there, but good to see he still has his health. Many more days to ski. Russia's Alexander Vetrov is in the gate. He will be our next athlete today on this incredibly challenging hay fever track. Again, it is like blue glacier ice coming down here. Averaging pitch is 35 to 40 degrees coming down, so it is a beast.
We've got 33 competitors in this particular category, Josh. So these guys have got to take some risk on the first run. They know there's a lot of heat sitting in the staging area behind them. So I don't know if this particular group can be too cautious on the first run. I think they've got to start to take a little bit more risk. Alexander Vetrov from Russia. Skier currently on course. He will be followed by France's Romain Ribou and Japan's Masahiko Tokei. Vetrov looking like he's putting a good one together here. 2 from the finish. Let's bring him home, ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Alexander Vetrov. All right, a 55.70.
Solid first run. It is no surprise to me, Drew, to see how strong this Russian team is right now. Yeah, we mentioned they are on a bit of an afterglow from hosting Sochi 2014. On course, France's Romain Ribou.
Ribou was 9th in the giant slalom Sunday. No, we'd like to make a move on the slalom standings. Let's find out what he's got on this main pitch on the hay fever slope here at Panorama Resort. Big shout out to Panorama, all of their employees for hosting the 2015 IPC Alpine World Ski Championships. Want to thank Mother Nature. It has been like this every single day since we kicked off with the downhill almost a week ago. Perfect race conditions, hard slope, fair and equal for all competitors. Sunshine, blue sky, warm temperatures, great crowds, loud, great crowds. Oh! He's got to climb back up and he make that blue gate. Bring it across. That's going to cost him a couple of seconds, but he gets to play for the second run, and that's what's really important for France's Romain Ribou. Our next skier on course from Japan, Masahiko Tokei. Let's watch Masa. Rotate it a little bit, and that's the tendency. You're on that steep pitch. The ski hooks up and tends to pull the upper body around a bit too far, making it tough to dive down the fall line into the following turn. Massa seemed to grab it. Little side hill move here as he sets himself up for the final plunge down towards the finish line. Solid turns. Getting tired a little bit. Got to fight now. Got to really drive. This is where it counts. All that training, that conditioning on the finish line for Japan. Masahiko Toke.
On deck, Switzerland's Robin Kusch looking to build on his strong performance in GS.
He crashed. No, he doesn't finish. He was in a...
Kusch, the 44th athlete to push out of the start gate today. We've got 100 on the start list. And as always, with the discipline of slalom, it will be interesting to see how many line up for run number 2. Kusch having himself a little bit of a wild ride down there. Pull it back together, right in close and personal on those breakaway gates.
This is smooth skiing by Kusch. You need to be wild. You need to take chances.
Woo!
You don't need to be pretty. Little mistakes there, but he's still keeping it together. He's fighting hard. Oh. You know what, Drew? We're seeing a little bit of an issue here coming into this very final last couple of turns before the finish line.
So we'll have a hold. Looks like Kusch went down hard. Just taking a second or so. Do a quick systems check. Sometimes the discipline of slalom is a series of high-speed linked recoveries. Kusch was fighting like a madman down this bottom section of the course. Kusch appears to be talking with our Finnish referee, Terry Serwa.
Sending our best thoughts to Kusch right now, but really nice to see how efficient the volunteer medical staff here is in Panorama, able to get to him right away and address any needs that he may have. You know, slalom can be deceiving, right? It is the most technical of all the disciplines in alpine ski racing. The speeds may not be the greatest, but the forces certainly can be. You know, it's so demanding on the athletes to make these quick movements, and by the time they come to the bottom of the track, they're usually completely gassed and just hanging on, trying to push that line as fast as they can. We down here at the bottom are sending our best vibes to Robin Kusch. Hopefully he's okay. Good to see him in good hands.
So here's an interesting tidbit for you folks out there. Times running around the 60-second mark, maybe a little bit over. We have got 58 gates on the course. So that's a little over a second a turn. You got to imagine bulletproof conditions on that main pitch. They are fired up, adrenaline going through the roof. They've got to manage snow conditions. They've got to keep the skis in contact with the snow. And they've also got to think about that turn. Gate after gate coming at them just over a second between turns. Huge challenge for these athletes.
Huge challenge, and the mental game in the start area is huge, right? There's a lot of energy that these athletes have put to get to this point, to make it to the World Championships. They have an expectation of what they would like to achieve, and then to throw in the mix this incredibly difficult hill, it definitely plays a game. I think some of the athletes are going to be quite intimidated at the very top, and other athletes might be a little more hungry, looking forward to the challenge of this hill.
Just watching the replay. Getting right back on the tails of the skis, spun around, landing hard. Contacting the breakaway gate with his skis. Helmet or not, you hit the ground with your head with that much force, it's definitely going to ring your bell. So we did mention a little bit earlier on that we have a fireworks and a torchlight parade slated for this evening. Fireworks are presented at compliments of our good friends at Global Fest. That goes at 8:30. We've got our wrap-up banquet for the athletes starting at 6:30. They will be utilizing the Great Hall, the day lodge here at Panorama Resort. I'm sure the volunteers will be hoisting a glass over in the T-bar. Everybody's invited to come out and watch the torchlight parade and the fireworks. That goes at 8:30. Love to have lots of folks outside whooping it up.
Looks like we have a little update. The competition will resume in approximately 5 minutes with Poland's Andrzej Śnieżny, followed by Canada's very own Matthew Hallett, Russia's Alexei Bugiev, Austria's Martin Weirs, Switzerland's Thomas Phil, Netherlands' Thomas Mulder, Japan's Hiraku Misawa, New Zealand's Adam Hall, France's Cedric Amofoy Boisset will be rounding out the top 15 in today's men's standing field. From there, we have probably another 20 solid skiers to follow in the second half of the pack. I know how much he loves speaking. Oh, hey. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Nice, you come here for the race? Nice. All right, I'm hanging out here in the finish area, and I spotted my man, Mac Marcoux. And I know how much, we all know how much Mac loves to grab a microphone and start telling stories to the crowd. So, Mac, if you would, come here, my man. Now, first of all, stoked that you're able to be here and cheer on the rest of the field today. I know it's not always easy to be at the bottom, watching people rip on a hill that you're so familiar with. But given that, Mac, you know this hill. What do you think the key to success is here on this very steep, very icy, demanding slalom hill? What would your approach be on today's hill?
You know,
Right
is
here.
it working?
Yeah, real close.
The slalom hill is super challenging on the top pitch, so I don't know. I think your best plan of attack would be just kind of give her hope for the best, stay forward, and hold on till you get to the bottom.
Give her, stay forward, and hold on till you get to the bottom. That is truly the nature of slalom, ladies and gentlemen. Mac Marcoux, thank you very much for sharing that wisdom. And I do believe you're correct. If you are aggressive, confident, smart, you might just have a chance to put down a fast run. But again, when you do that, you do take a risk. And the risk is spinning out, flying around, and maybe not earning a second run. So it's a fine line. Mac Marcoux, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being such a great ambassador to the sport. We'll be cheering you on for many years to come, you devilishly handsome young man.
Thanks, dude.
You're welcome, Mac.
Is that a little ski racer love I picked up on?
I got a lot of love for Mac. You know, he's a good kid. He's a strong athlete, a great contributor to the team atmosphere as a whole. I wish I had more time to tell you Mac-isms and Mac stories, but there are many. And he's young and smart, which is a couple of things that lead me to believe he's going to have a very long and healthy career in the sport of alpine ski racing.
Yeah, big props out to the Marcoux brothers for throwing down the first couple of days of this year's competition, the 2015 IPC Alpine World Ski Championships. On the top step for the downhill, grabbing silver in the Super G. The bros were in the flow. A little bit of a knee issue has caused Mac to have to back out for the remaining competitions, but we wish him well, rehabbing that knee. And we know they'll be back to ski race a whole bunch more in the seasons to come.
What a glorious afternoon in the finish area here. If I have any friends in the audience today, would you be so kind as to share some sunscreen with me so that I don't end up going home looking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I've already been complimented to, so I'd like to keep that damage to a minimum. Anybody have sunscreen in this glorious finish area? No friends. No friends.
You get your Oakley on.
Oh, yeah.
Shameless. Okay,
Come on, man. You got Solomon on. We're doing wins for everybody. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Norman. I'm well, dude. How about yourself? Oh, my God. That's all I need is just the honker. So what's new, man?
So, folks, a lot of the stuff that is going on now at the finish line is of a precautionary nature. They want to make absolutely sure that the athlete is being taken care of to the best of medical's ability. So they'll get him into the toboggan and secured and then move him down to the clinic, which is just a couple of 100 meters down below us here at the finish line.
I was a bit jealous. You know, jealousy is not a good attribute at all. I should be happy for you, and I was. But I was like, we do, yeah, and we will be at Moab. Nope, we're actually moving into it in May. Inspired a bit by what you and Kim did.
It's been incredibly exciting IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships this week. Started off with some speed training on Monday and Tuesday of last week, and then rolled into the downhill on Wednesday. Had some great results, of course, as we mentioned just a moment ago, with the Marcoux brothers ending up on the top step in the men's visually impaired category, grabbing the gold medal. Very proud moment for all of us Canadians. All right, just sliding down beside us here. Rachel Stowe taking care of business. We want to thank Rachel and the Panorama Mountain Patrol for their efforts. Big shout out for Robin Kush. As I mentioned, a lot of the time taken by medical was just to ensure the utmost care and attention taken to Switzerland's Robin Kusch. So we'll get him down into our clinic for some preliminaries. And then if he needs further treatment, he will be sent down to Invermere to the local hospital. All right, folks, cast your glance upward on the Jumbotron. Coming at us from Poland, Andrzej Jasinski. Good moves in through here, visibility improving by the minute. Andrzej having a good lower section, arcing the turns, laying that ski over. Great run for Poland's Andrzej Jasinski.
On deck, ladies and gentlemen, our very own Matthew Hallett representing Canada, pushing out of the gate.
Come on, Matty.
Matt is a slalom dog. He loves this event more than any. He knows this hill. I'm watching Matty pick his way down this steeper section with great wisdom. He's being smart. He's aggressive. He's confident. He's hanging it out there. You know, again, those turns on that pitch are really swingy into that delay where he has a chance to regain his timing into this little combo. Very strong, very smooth skiing into the sunshine. Matty knows his lower section. He wants to hear you, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to feel you. He's on the front of that ski. He's being smooth. He's being smart, running an aggressive line. What a great performance Matty's putting together here. Make short work of those bottom turns that have caused a few other people. Oh my God, great run for Matty Hallett. 54-56, that is a fast time, ladies and gentlemen. Matty is hunting for run number 2. He's got it, congratulations, Hallett. Up next, Russia's Alexei Bugiev on course. This young guy is a panther on the hill. He is so active, so athletic. I am so curious to see how he approaches today's run because it is so challenging.
We're right in the middle of the meat of the men's slalom standing order. Hallett putting down a 54-16, second fastest time so far, everybody. And we got some big guns coming in after him. As Josh just said, the Russian Alexei Bugiev coming, followed by Austria's Martin Wirtz, Thomas Phil, Thomas Mulder, Hirakul Misawa.
I want to we have to
with.
pay attention to Bugiev here. He undressed that steep section like it was nothing at all. This was a cakewalk for Bugiev. What a strong performance here. 49.98. Oh my God. I would be very surprised to see if anyone could better that. That was a phenomenal performance by Bugiev.
Holy cow. 49.98 for Russia's Alexei Bugiev. On course next, Martin Wirtz. Oh, Martin made that little transition across the side hill, set up for the final plunge towards the finish line. Missed the gate. Bad luck for Austria's Martin Wirtz. Next on course from Switzerland, Thomas Phil. Phil skiing fairly round on the top section. A little flush through here. Out into the sunshine as he exits hay fever. Move across the side hill.
Good adjustment by Thomas Phil here. You know, that compression coming off of the pitch and then moving into the sunshine on a slightly mellower lower half of the course. Great move, great adjustment by Phil. Crowd is stoked. Thomas is pushing hard. He is ready for this track. All the way home, all the way to the line. Very strong performance by Thomas Phil.
Good skiing for Thomas. His first run time, a very acceptable 55.69.
On course, Netherlands' Thomas Mulder looking to improve on an already very solid week. Traditionally, the one-leggers have a bit of an advantage in slalom. They can really get tight to the gate. Thomas Mulder showing us just that on this upper pitch, skiing very strong, and an aggressive line choice as well. So I think Thomas got to be really happy with how this run's coming together. He's coming into the lower section and really hitting that gas pedal. You can see him lean forward, stepping on that front of the ski to initiate the turn early. Wow, what a great run by Thomas Mulder.
Thomas Mulder out of the Netherlands, which is not renowned as an Alpine nation, making short work of the bottom section of this slalom course. Let's bring him home, everybody. Thomas Mulder.
Japan's Hiraku Mirasawa on deck. Again, this guy, he is built for slalom. He loves this event, and again, so athletic. You can just watch the angles this guy creates. He really gets on top of that ski, taking chances every turn.
Oh. Bad luck for Japan's Hiraku Misawa. He's just noticing how aggressive a line he was taking those gates right across the chest and the face.
This is ski racing, ladies and gentlemen. Hiraku is taking a lot of chances, pushing the line down that steeper pitch. And you can see when he does lose his line, how difficult it is for him to control that speed and come to a controlled stop on this pitch. Adam Hall from New Zealand on course right now. Again, this guy loves slalom. He's been a dominating force, won the Paralympics Vancouver 2010 in this exact event.
Only fitting that we challenge these athletes with a bona fide slalom course. This slope used by the ladies on the World Cup circuit in 2007. Oh, Hall!
He was going for it there. He wanted to bring as much speed off that pitch onto the flatter section down closer to the bottom here. Took a chance, and unfortunately it didn't pay off huge for Adam. Able to regain his composure. That is the game of slalom. Not how many mistakes you make, but how quickly you can recover. Coming down this very bottom pitch with good speed, great momentum. The crowd loves Adam Hall as he brings it in and hot dogging on the tails. Adam Hall, strong 55-40 for Adam. Rounding out the top 15 from France, we have Cédric Amafoy-Boissouat.
So as Josh just said, this is the last skier in our top group. We've still got another 16 skiers to go. But from France, Cédric Amafoy-Boissouat on course.
He is putting together a great run, and there is a rumor, I've only heard it, it is only a rumor, that this may be Cédric's last race on an international circuit. So ladies and gentlemen, make a little bit of extra noise for Cédric Amafoy-Boissouat of France.
Amafoy-Boissouat, 2 gates from the finish. Run 1 done for Cédric with a time of 57.92.
On deck, Canada's own Kirk Shorenstein. Kirk having himself a solid week here at Panorama, consistently skiing fast, skiing to his potential, very solid. Let's see how he does on this slalom track coming down hay fever. Tell you what, he's aggressive. He's pushing the line right now. He's skiing hard. carrying good speed down this pitch, looking like it's becoming not an issue for Shorenstein at all. Very smooth, very strong. Comes into this lower half of the track. You get a little bit of a break from the pitch, but not a whole lot. A lot of speed to be had. In the sunshine, glorious. Shorenstein's loving it right now. Making short work of that combination there. Combo after combo, Shorenstein only picking up speed. Oh, solid run. Great skiing, fighting to the line, fighting to the line. Yes, Kurt Shorenstein. Another Canadian on deck, Braden Lepscombe.
Great time for Canada's Kirk Shorenstein. That's a 56.76. Okay, teammate Braden Lepscombe on course.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, if it's a bit of an equipment malfunction or what, but he looked down immediately to his outrigger as if maybe it hooked something, or maybe a tough go for Braden here. All right, it looks like he hit a bit of a rut there, and that threw him off. That is going to start to develop as the field gets a little bit further in, so we're looking at bib number 55 for Braden, and we're seeing a bit of a deterioration on the track there. Disappointing, but that, again, ladies and gentlemen, is the nature of racing. Putting it all on the line for you guys, for our entertainment. USA's Ralph Green on course.
The big man, Ralph Green, good friend of yours, Josh. Unbelievably powerful. We'll see how he fares on these tight top turns.
Yeah, Ralphie's dedicated a lot of time to the circuit. He puts a lot of energy into his training in the offseason. Super dedicated to the sport. Very, very good ambassador. And I know that Ralph loves slalom, so watch him come down here. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts together a strong run for us. Ralphie loves the hype. Come on, guys. Let's make some noise for Ralph. He comes onto this lower half of the course into the sunshine.
Come on, he can hear you. Let's see if we can get him to open up the throttle a little bit round through there. Back into the groove. Here he comes from the United States, Ralph Green.
Consistent skiing all the way down through the pitch, through the finish. Great run by Ralph Green.
1:04.26. The time for Ralph.
I know the Austrians are going to be fired up for our next skier, Christoph Bernhard Schneider on course. Wow, getting really low, really aggressive, attacking this pitch with everything he has. Now we get into the steepest part of this pitch, and it does start to swing. You've seen this area give some of the athletes a little bit of an issue. No problem for Christoph.
Really looping some beautiful turns through their fast moves coming through that flush, transitioning off the bottom pitch of Hay Fever, across the side hill here, making the turn into the bottom part of the slalom course on the old-timer slope here at Panorama Resort this beautiful sunny Tuesday morning. Yeah, he's put down a fast one from Austria, Christoph Bernhard Schneider. From the UK, James Whitley on course. James coming into the mix on Sunday with the giant slalom. Whitley finishing 18th on Sunday. Solid here. Quick moves, he should be coming into view right now. There he is. Good adjustment. A little bit of a rhythm change in here. And there you go. Across the finish line, representing Great Britain, James Whitley. 58.66. And our next skier, another Austrian, Nico Pajanschitz. Nico had a very solid Sunday, coming in 6th place in the giant slalom. Down, probably about another 14, 15 skiers to go in the men's slalom standing category. Then we take a short break and come right back at you with our final grouping of the day, men's slalom sitting. Good skiing for Pajanschitz in the bottom section of turns here. Good energy, beautiful lateral movement. And a good snap out of the skis, and the time is indicative of that with a 57.87 for Nico Pajanschitz of Austria. Next skier on course right now, Japan's Gakuta Koike. Japanese traditionally very, very strong in slalom. Beautiful technique. Look in this bottom section. Might be chiseling up a little bit as we're well into our 100 starters. Koike with bib number 60. His finish time for run number 1, 1 minute, 0.84 seconds. Slovakia's Martin France will come at us next. France just missing the podium on Sunday. A 5th place finish for Martin. We'll see how he fares in run number 1 of our 5th and final event of this year's 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships, right here from beautiful Panorama Resort in southeastern British Columbia, Canada. Good bottom section so far for Martin France. How about a little love from the stands for Slovakia's Martin France. 58.05 seconds for Martin. Great skiing.
Australia's Mitchell Gorley on track right now. He might not have been in the top seed, but this guy is a hunter every single time. Fortunately, when you attack these types of hills, sometimes the hill will spit you back out. Unfortunate for Mitchell Gorley.
Gorley had the heartbreak of finishing 4th. If you ask any of these racers, they say one of the toughest positions to end up in is 4th. You're just so close to that podium. And now another tough day for Australia's Mitch Gorley.
Just chat with Canada's Matthew Hallett, and I'll tell you what he told me in just a minute.
Our next skier on course from Belgium, Jasper Belson. We're going to just go with Jasper. Bib number 63. Staying in the mix right now. Good moves. Just watching the outside skis starting to chatter a little bit. That indicates that we're getting some ruts forming, some chisel marks from previous skiers, making it tough. If you're right on that mark and your skis turn across those marks, it's really tricky to maintain good grip. Here comes Jasper. Got it going on. He's going to be feeling a little bit of fatigue down here, but he is still on fire. The Belgian skier, 2 gates from the finish right now. Here he is. Jasper Belkin from Belgium with a first run time of 1 minute 5.86 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jasper is so fired up right now.
Woo!
Sharing some of that great energy of this track with everybody in the crowd. Wow, great run, Jasper. We love you, buddy. If we look back to the screen, it appears that Great Britain's Christopher Lloyd had a little bit of trouble with that upper pitch. Hopefully he's all right. You know, speaking with Matt Hall a little bit early on today, he was telling me what a challenging hill this is, but it's fair. The conditions, the track is buff. There are little groove marks coming out, but really overall, for how challenging the hill is, the snow conditions, the work that the volunteers have put into it are allowing the athletes to bring their best. But again, not an easy hill, and one that will turn you over and spit you out if you're not being smart.
All right, our next skier from Italy, Nicolo Maria Orsini. Skier number 65. Watch Orsini. What happened here? Josh mentioning earlier on the importance of moving forward onto the front of the ski to get the tip engaged and flexed and starting to carve for you. And you could just see that last series of turns, Orsini got a little bit back, couldn't get enough pressure on the skis, and he had to pitch them sideways, and that popped him out of the course. Tough luck for Nicolo Maria Orsini from Italy. That moves us next to Poland's Amadeus Iwanowski. Amadeus Iwanowski will not complete his first run. That moves us down the line to the Czech Republic's Miroslav Lidinsky.
Again, Drew, this hill is so steep and so demanding that if an athlete hasn't had an opportunity to ski something or train something like this before, it can be so intimidating in the start, not really knowing what to expect, how things are going to move quickly on you. It is like a semi-controlled free fall.
The urge on a pitch that steep, Josh, is to turn the ski really quickly and get on that fresh edge. What you need to do is be patient, get the ski on edge high in the arc of the turn, and then bend the ski and get it to roll around for you. Good job being performed of that task right now by the Czech Republic's Miroslav Lidinsky. He's got it going through here. Last couple of gates as he approaches the finish line right now. Let's welcome him, Canada, Miroslav Lidinsky.
On course, Tyler Carter from the U.S. See Ty's fighting hard here. He wants to stay nice and close to the gate, running a tight line. Very smooth with his skiing, you know, linking it up left to right. And really, I'm impressed with this tactic coming down this pitch right now because he can easily get away from you.
Yeah, managing speed down through here, Josh, which is key. As you mentioned, you're comparing it to a controlled free fall.
Good choice coming off the pitch because he's able to build speed coming into this lower section, which is crucial as the seconds add up if you don't carry that speed off the pitch.
Walker well placed for a good charge towards the finish line on run number 1. Here he comes. Welcome him, everybody, from the United States, Tyler Carter. Another Italian, currently on course, Andrea Valenti. Valenti skiing well, exhibiting good control. Here he is on that slight side hill as he moves off the bottom of Horseshoe. Delay will bring him down, line him up for the final charge towards the finish line. Here he comes. Fighting to stay in the course through there. Getting that ski on edge, holding his line, reaching forward for the finish line. Good skiing for Andrea Valenti of Italy. 2 skiers left in the slalom standing category. We'll kick it off with the United States, Connor Hogan. And finish it off with ski number 71. From Bosnia-Herzegovina, Nijaj Memic. We'll have a couple of minutes break. Finish off with our final category of the morning, men's slalom sitting. It's going to be fun. We have an expert commentator in Mr. Josh Dewitt to be able to cruise us through how the boys in the sit skis are going to handle this tough hay fever course. Hogan doing pretty well. He's exiting that bottom pitch of hay fever, coming into the sun and coming into view right about now.
Great skiing from Connor coming down this final pitch, staying strong, finding a little extra speed down here, fighting hard. Come on, show him some love.
Hold on, Connor. This is it. Great finish for the U.S.'s Connor Hogan. His first run time of 1:16.93.
On course, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Nanja Mjemic.
First time we've seen Memic on course, Josh. Looks like he got into a little bit of trouble.
You can see just still sliding down the hill, trying to self-arrest here. Again, that pitch is so challenging, so intimidating for some of these athletes. Even inspecting can be very, very difficult. We have a lot of athletes here that are pushing the envelope, pushing the limit of what is humanly possible on this track. We also have a group of great athletes that are coming out here and just developing some experience. I was just reminded of, from the Belgian ski team, they might not have had their dream performance here, but really strong up-and-coming skiers. Eleanor Sana and Chloe Sana from Belgium. Very, very good. Show them some love. These girls are young and hungry and have a great career ahead of them.
I did, yeah. Oh.
As Drew said, we're just going to take just a couple minutes here to redress the course. You can see this amazing crew of volunteers just doing a slide slip. Make sure the course hasn't deteriorated in any way, and if it has, make the necessary repairs. Again, hearing from Matt Hallett, who ran about halfway through the pack, telling us that no, it is a buff track, that it is smooth, it is fair, and it is really challenging.
Okay, Josh, the next grouping up you are very familiar with, not only from a participation standpoint, but also who these bad dogs are. We're going to kick it off with Dietmar Dorn, followed by Taki Mori, Jean-Yves Lemur, Thomas Nolte, Yasmin Bamber, Frederic Francois, Jörg Kreider, Kenji Natsumi, Tyler Walker. These guys are all fierce on the race course. You got a favorite for slalom?
Oh, no, actually, this is such a thick category. This might be one of the most competitive of all the 5 disciplines, not only in sense of volume, the number of people that have registered for this race, but also the caliber. There's 5, 6 guys that could take the win today. It really is going to be determined on tactics. So who plays this smart? You need to be aggressive. You need to be confident. But this hill is going to bring you down, i.e. it's going to suck you down if you're not staying ahead of it. And I'm incredibly curious. Will it favor somebody like, let's see, Suzuki from Japan or Dinos Golovic from Croatia, who have a very unique style of cross-blocking and maintaining a very tight line to the gate because of that strategy? Or will it go to somebody like Thomas Nolte, who's like a bull coming down this hill? He's hungry, he wants to be successful, and he is notoriously good in slalom. That being said, I've given you 3 names. I could give you another 3, 4, 5, 6 more that are going to be contenders on this track today. I wish it was easy for me. I wish I could say there's a clear advantage for any one of these guys, but there's not. It's who skis smart, confident, and aggressive.
We got a Canadian in the mix. Who's that?
Kurt Oatway, and again, he's got some miles on this hill. He is a good slalom skier. Will today be his day? He's skied well this week, but I know he wants more. Incredibly competitive athlete. Yes, he's young in the sport. Yes, he is building experience, but I know for a fact that Kurt is a contender. Kurt could be on the podium in any of the 5 disciplines. Be it not this his week, maybe today is his day.
It's the beautiful thing about the sport, the discipline of slalom. Anything can happen. You can have the best in the world on course, and a moment's complacency, a little hesitancy, maybe some just flat out bad luck, and they are out of the mix.
A couple other Canadians to talk about today. We have Jeff Thompson and Alex Cairns, both prospects, both on the development team, and just incredibly gifted skiers, getting the experience they need at this caliber of event to be world leading in the sport of ski racing one day.
Our first skier of this grouping on course from Austria, Dietmar Dorn.
Dietmar's a strong slalom skier, first of the men seated. And he's choosing a conservative but yet still aggressive line. So conservative in terms of he's really bringing the ski across the hill to maintain his speed. Aggressive coming from he is still choosing to be tight to the pin. See how he decides to come off this pitch, a little bit of a delay there. And as he mellows out in the terrain, he's found good rhythm, building speed. This is a solid performance by Dietmar Dorn.
Watch
Coming into the sunshine, all he wants to do is hear the crowd making noise. Austria's Dietmar Dorn having a great first run so far.
Dorn
This is
on
where the
final
athletes
approach.
really need to be stepping on it, though. They need to be taking risks down here on this lower part. Yes, the terrain is undulating. It moves side to side. We have rollers and followays, but you need to attack this lower section. If you want to be fast, Dietmar with a very good first run. Coming across the line with 1 minute, 14 hundredths.
All right, our next skier, no stranger to danger, from Japan, Taiki Mori.
Taiki's been on the circuit for ever and ever. He has been continuing to lead the sport of sit ski, historically good in the Super G, GS, and downhill. The last couple years, though, Taiki has really stepped up his game in the slalom. Let's see where it takes him today. Now what I'm seeing is a little bit of movement on the suspension here, so that's telling me that the course is starting to rut up a little bit. His suspension choice might be a bit soft, and that's giving him a bit of a hiccup coming off the pitch. However, coming into the flats, great move. Taiki knows that he has to carry speed. He's doing just that, and he's only continuing to build on that speed through this lower half of the course.
Take a look at that green light indicating that he has taken over the lead in this category from Japan, Taiki Mori.
This is what we want to see. We want to see the athletes being aggressive, charging the line. A little bit of a mistake there, but not so bad. Still carrying great speed to the finish. One more combination here. Yeah! Great run by Mori. He's in the green for now.
Okay, sending a message back to the rest of the crew, Josh, of 57.45 from Japan's Mori.
France's Jean-Yves Lemire is a very strong slalom skier. He is one of the athletes that does specialize. A little bit of a hush over the crowd here as we're watching him really challenge this top section and maybe a little too aggressively, which has cost him the run, unfortunately, for Jean-Yves Lemire. Again, strong slalom skier, came at it with aggression, and the hill, unfortunately, got the best of him today. This guy's one to watch for. On deck, Thomas Nolte of Germany, very strong slalom skier, picking up the legacy of Martin Braxenthaler, who was the Monoski Führer of Germany, unbeatable for years and years in his time. Thomas Nolte of Germany, in the start, looking at a world of potential at Hay Fever right now.
Okay, let's see what kind of damage Nolte can put down on the course right now.
Very tight to the pin, aggressive skiing, smooth. Again, you just need to pick your way down this upper pitch like a mountain goat. Just chip your way down. You're not going to win the race on this upper pitch. You just need to be smooth, smart, and carry that speed coming down. And so far, Nolte's doing exactly that. Off the pitch, this is crucial here. You need to carry your speed. You need to be aggressive coming into that combination. So far, Nolte's in the green, which is really exciting. As we come down to the lower half, expect that Nolte will be charging this hill, leaving nothing behind.
Nolte with an 8th place finish in Sunday's GS. Knows how to bend a ski. We'll find out how things are going to finish up for Germany's Thomas Nolte.
Strong skiing, but I will question right now, is he taking enough risk on this lower half of the course to be a contender? Good run for Nolte. 59.19. From the United States, via Serbia, Yasmin Bamber on track. Again, another one of the athletes that I've seen really turn into a specialist for slalom. Spends a lot of time and energy on the slalom course. And you can see that Yaz is trying to be conservative on the top pitch, not let the speed get away from him. Not a bad strategy. Again, you will not win on the pitch here.
Bamber worked that section of Hay Fever extremely well. Thinking it through.
All right, you can see that Yaz is really starting to pick it up here. He's feeling comfortable on the surface, challenging the line a little bit more. Loving the sunshine, I'm sure of it.
Still a bit early in the session to see any kind of softening of the snow surface. I'm sure it's still bulletproof out there. Bamber coming down, worked the last 2 turns, hit the finish line. He'll live to fight for
Does
run
he have
number
enough
2.
to take the lead from Taiki Mori? Not quite enough in the first run, but Yaz will get a second run, a chance to improve. Frederic Francois of France is now on course, looking to build on a very successful week for him. You can see also the skis need to be perfectly tuned here. It's looking like maybe just a little bit of a grip issue here for Frederick coming down the pitch. We heavily, as sit skiers, we heavily depend on our ski technicians to make the right choice so that we have enough grip but not too much coming down on the one ski. Really starting to pick it up now. You can see his confidence is starting to build. He knows that the race is made or lost off that transition to bring your speed onto the lower half of the hill. He's not in the green on the pitch, but that doesn't matter right now. He can make up time on the lower half of this course. He has the speed right now. He's running an aggressive line. This is smart skiing by Frederic Francois.
Okay, home territory now for Francois, back on this lower part of the slope. They are quite used to the way the terrain moves down here. They've all skied it in the super combined in the slalom format. And here he comes on his way to the finish line from France, Frederic Francois.
Oh, great finish there. 102.50, not enough to take away the lead from Taiki Mori, but a strong first run. George Kreider from Germany on course right now has had a fantastic week with 2 World Championships titles in the Super Combined and the GS, and now showing us that he can ski slalom with the best of them. Very impressive skiing from Kreider up here. Again, he is functioning from the LW10 category, so he has more paralysis than most of the athletes, functioning from about the chest up. No, still in it! Oh, that was great. He just gave us a little bit of excitement there, a little bit of a heart stopper for George Kreider, Germany there. Doesn't seem to have affected his speed at all, and that is the nature of having a little bit of a mistake on the pitch. You're not going to win or lose up there. He's carrying his speed off the pitch. He is still in the green. Wow, what a fantastic recovery for Kreider. You know he's hungry right now.
That big flare of snow sent a shiver through the entire crowd, and then he jetted out of that cloud and still in the green from Germany, Jörg Kreider. Currently in the lead. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold on to it. Needs to challenge down here. Little more rest, last combination. 3 more turns. Here he comes to the finish line. Let's make him welcome George Kreider.
Great run for Kreider. Not enough to take the lead away from Japan's Taiki Mori. Interesting though, Kreider had the most aggressive approach on that upper pitch, bought himself a lot of time, but didn't take enough chance on the lower half of the course, and that cost him a little bit first run. 2-run race, ladies and gentlemen. On course from Japan, Kenji Natsumi.
Just gives you an idea of how good Mori was on the bottom section of this course. Kenji Natsumi, Mori's teammate.
See if that memo got onto the top for Kenji Natsumi from Taiki Mori in terms of you don't need to win the upper section, you need to carry that speed on this lower section. Looks like Kenji was doing just that. He let her go right at the base of that pitch so that he wants to build. Not in the green right now, but again, if he can hold it together and run a deep line here on this lower half of the course, we might just see a change.
Natsumi coming at us right now. Watch this last series of turns. Combination down here.
Oh, good recovery. Oh, he's fighting. He wants this. That's not how he wanted to finish. But that's what happens when you're racing. Great run. Great effort by Kenji Natsumi. A little bit frustrating to lose control so close to the finish.
105 flat. First run time for Japan's Kenji Natsume.
Tyler Walker from the United States on course. No, he's not. He may have been a scratch. I'm gonna flip over my page. New Zealand's Corey Peters.
Looks like Corey ran into some trouble as well. Just being able to manage that adrenaline in the start gate, Josh, you know I'm sure very well. You want to just fire out of there, just want to light that entire course up. And today's pitch, today's set, demanding that you ski a little bit more within yourself.
Yeah, you need to come at this, of course, aggressively, but respectfully, because it's going to get away on you if you just try to hammer down an aggressive line. You want to be aggressive in terms of the traction on your ski, the intensity that you bring to the hill. Austria's Roman Rabel. He's a threat in all 5 disciplines, 3 bronze medals in Sochi, a fantastic week here so far, but I know that Roman wants a little more. Let's see what he will bring on this slalom track down hay fever.
Waiting on the course clear for timing to cycle back around. You see his coach down in his ear. Last little bit of information, last bit of encouragement.
Little jumping up and down in the start gate to get fired up and get that shock ready to rock and roll. Okay, Roman's going for it right now. He's aggressive. Look at how strong he is on that ski. He might be getting bounced around, but he is so determined to stay on line. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to win or lose on the pitch. Yes, he's coming at it aggressively. Yes, he did make a little bit of a mistake there, but he can recover well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to happen. If you come at this hill too hot and too heavy, she ain't going to be nice. She's an evil mistress. She's going to spit you out, send you home.
See, the rebound he got from that ski and the shock combined was just too much to manage.
On deck, Croatia's Dino Sokolovic. This guy is a slalom specialist. He, in fact, only trained this event until this year. Looking to diversify, you did see him in all the other disciplines. That being said, Dino is the slalom man.
17th in the giant slalom on Sunday. Sokolovic. Sometimes, folks, we see this little bit of a delay, and the reasoning behind that is that we have a break set up in our timing.
You can see Dino's respecting this upper pitch right now. Normally, you'll find him cross-blocking his way down the hill. He's choosing a more conservative approach, and it's paying off. Ooh. I'm going to stop talking. That was bad luck. I am sorry.
So I have noticed that our start intervals on our lead program sheet indicate that they are variable, which means that we're not holding to a 90-second gap or a minute and 15-second gap in between skiers. Because of the shorter format of slalom, whenever the course is clear.
Japan's Akira Kano on course now. Unfortunate deviation on the course for Akira Kano. That's 2 in a row now in that exact same spot. I am curious what's happening on the track right now. Is it a deterioration, or is it just that challenging the track that if you push too hard, another fantastic slalom skier on deck from Japan, Takashi Suzuki. Certainly, in my opinion, one of the best slalom skiers of all time. You can see with aggression and authority, cross-blocking this pitch, which allows Suzuki to run a slightly different line and avoid all the terrain. The ruts that have developed from the other skiers are not an issue for Suzuki. This is great. You know, he could put down a conservative run right now and still do well. He's charging that upper pitch like no one else. Wow, coming off the pitch, he knows again what an important part of the course this is to carry speed. And my God, he is so fast right now. Unbelievable skiing by Suzuki. Look at him, the land of the rising sun with this cross block. Dominating force over the years in slalom, showing us exactly why the entire field respects him so much. Oh, Oh, great skiing. Here's Suzuki. It's a thing of beauty. He is so fluid, so smooth. What a treat to watch Suzuki put down a fantastic run. 54-25, our new leader taking the lead from teammate Taiki Mori. The time to beat today, 54-25.
That was absolutely superb.
Francis Zero More on course now.
For the last skier in our top group. Still another 15 skiers to go, including Canada's Kurt Otway, Alex Cairns, Jeff Thompson. Trio of Canadians is still in the mix.
Nice, good moves by Cyril Moore there. You've seen that gate challenge a lot of the athletes throughout the day in all the categories. The hill's falling away from the skier. It is so icy, so steep, and great to see Cyril make it through that tricky section. Again, he got the memo. Carry your speed off that pitch. Build towards the finish. Alrighty, great love and support from all the French in the crowd today. I want to hear everybody else making some noise, bringing Cyril Moore down the hill today.
Moore having himself a fine lower section on the slopes here at Panorama. One turn to go.
Great finish for Cyril Moore. You can see how important it is to find that perfect synergy between your sit ski, the suspension, the ski in the snow. All right, Johan Taberlet of France on course. Coming from us from an able-bodied ski background, always a threat in the speed, has refocused to slalom. And unfortunately, the course just got away from Yo right there. Disappointing moment in time.
All right, Canada, come on. Wearing bib number 88, Kurt Otway.
Kurt's gonna know how to run this hill exactly the way you should. He's got the smarts. Can he let go and run himself a consistent run? You can see it's a little bit bumpy up there, a little bit chattery, but he's recovering well. And again, he's got great speed coming down. Slalom is about who can take the most chances and recover the quickest. I'm happy with what Kurt's doing right now. Smooth, consistent skiing coming down that pitch, respecting the hill, but still challenging the line. Great moves there coming off the pitch. Will he take some chances? Will he carry that speed down? Yes, he does. Great skiing. I'm sure he's breathing a little bit lighter now that he's made it off the pitch. Now he knows he has to attack this. He has to charge the line well. Kurt is a phenomenal slalom skier. Look at him. He's making some angles. He's hanging on, taking chances. So smooth through that combination there. He's looking really fast, folks.
He's got a little buffaloed in that combination, Josh. Not quite sure exactly what occurred. Let's watch the replay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's show some love for Kurt Otway. Great Britain's Michael Brennan now on course.
Two skiers from the UK back-to-back on course right now. Mike Brennan, Benjamin Sneesby will be following him. I believe it's the first time we've seen Brennan this week. Take a look and see how he negotiates that slippery section up there. It's got to be getting tough. Brennan with bib number 89 of 100. Josh alluded to it a little earlier on. It is so important to get through that tricky section. Now you can start to open it up, transitioning off that bottom pitch into the sunshine. Maybe the snow is changing a little bit. Looks like Brennan is out as well.
I don't know what happened there. He was looking smooth, looking strong. I was excited for Brennan to make his way down this lower half of the course where he could have really showed his skill and ability.
Just to give you an idea of how tough slalom racing is and how hard these guys are going at it. Look at that group of them coming down.
On course, Great Britain's Benjamin Sneesby. I'm always impressed to watch this guy ski. He's new to the circuit, but really determined, really focused, and putting together a fantastic upper section right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Sneesby taking great speed off the pitch. Watch for this guy to really link it up down here. Watch for him to put together a phenomenal lower half of the track.
Sneesby definitely in the midst right now. He's got it going on. Clean turns. All right, let's see if he can handle this tricky little combination. Otway experiencing a spot of bother in there. Sneesby moving through. All right, one little combo here. 3 more turns. And Great Britain's Benjamin Sneesby.
Great finish. You can tell he's happy with that run. Way to go, Sneesby. On deck from the United States of America, we have Christopher Devlin Young on course.
CDY, as he is known, was 15th in Sunday's race and looking to improve on that finish. Let's find out how Chris handles that top section.
Historically, he's not a big fan of the slalom event, but today's track may play an advantage because it is so steep and aggressive that you really have to be smart and tactical. Chris is doing just that right now. He's chiseling his way down this upper pitch, holding good speed, and he's going to know exactly what he wants to do here right now. Can he execute what he has in his mind to really drain this next section?
Oh, did he hang in there? So close.
Yeah, he tried to get a little more out of that ski and just didn't keep his upper body over the sit ski, which caused him to kind of hang out and have to follow that ski right off the track. Disappointing for CDY. That was a great effort coming down the pitch. Good skiing off of it.
All right, we're moving down into it. Our next skier from Australia will be Mark Sawyer.
Followed by Canada's Jeff Thompson.
Is the Jeff Thompson fan club here? That's good to hear. It appears that Sawyer is out. Just watching the replay here. Find out what we've got. Yeah. Mark Sawyer from Australia laying it down. That moves us to our next skier in the starting gate from Canada, Jeff Thompson. Jeff, part of the development group.
And that's one of the huge benefits of having such a major event like the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships at Canada. It gives these young athletes an opportunity to race in these events and to be exposed to the level and the caliber of competition that we see on the World Cup, World Championships, and Paralympic stage.
Okay, Jeff's showing some calculated moves here. Get over a little bit on the side. We'll see if he can prop himself up. I don't know if he missed that gate or not. All right, looks like he's back in the mix. Great to see the fight in Jeff. He's staying with it. Good, now we can take a breath. Hit that transition onto the flatter section. Oh! So tricky through here. That's all right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
couple of athletes
we have Jeff Thompson, Roman Rabel, two great athletes putting it down. Unfortunately, not making the line, but putting on a good show for our entertainment. Looks to me like Joshua Elliott from the United States is on track.
Again, being that it's a long shot on the camera, Josh, is difficult to see whether he...
Yeah, now that we've moved our way out of the top 15 in the men's sitting category, you're noticing that experience is playing a huge factor in today's track. How do you inspect? What do you see? And then how do you want to drive the course? And when you're younger, this course is incredibly intimidating. Who am I kidding? I'm scared of this course, and I've had a chance to run tracks for a handful of years right now. It is tough to make good decisions on this hill. We're seeing that experience is playing a huge factor in today's success.
Yeah, you just see what happened there. You want to talk about the fight in the dog. The U.S.'s Josh Elliott slipped low on a gate and then turned around, wedged his way back up, got back around that gate, and fought after it for a couple more turns.
You know, for so many of these athletes, they want to cross the line. They want to feel the energy and the love of this crowd because this crowd rules.
Another Brit coming at us next, Josh. This is going to be Ben Millard. Right after Benjamin, our final Canadian of the morning, it will be Alex Cairns.
Oh, a skier has to be so exact and so precise coming down this hill. There's not much room for error on that upper pitch. Canada's Alex Cairns on course. Surely very excited for this opportunity. Coming off of a fantastic GS performance the other day. Great skiing by Alex. And again, very strong free skier. Will that pay into his performance today?
You got to be loose. You got to be able to interpret that terrain and show no fear. Show a little respect, but no fear. Alex doing well. That's the nasty section right through here. This is the area that seems to have caught several of our athletes this morning.
This kid is showing great smarts on that upper section. Skeeta is smooth. There's the best skiers on the circuit right now. Stoked for Alex. Coming off that pitch. Looking for a little bit extra speed. So excited. So relieved to be off that pitch. Now it's time to shine in the sun.
Here we go. We're going to lay it down. We're going to throw a little hammer dime. Here he comes. Canada's Alex Cairns. He's got a good one going, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. In the sunshine here. Feeling the heat, feeling the love. Let's watch what happens. Moves through this last combination right here. Couple more open turns after this, and he's going to make the line. He'll get one out of the way. We'll see him this afternoon.
Phenomenal performance today. Really showing his strength as a skier, a free skier, and certainly as a slalom racer today. Well done, Cairns. USA's Stephen Lawler on track.
Lawler fighting hard, skidded it sideways for a second, but recovered, regrouped, and he's refocused. Back on course. Is he going to be able to hang in there? Sun moving on to that section of the slope of hay fever, and now he's back into the shadows. Right in here. Hanging in there. Steve Lawler out of the U.S. Whoa. Looked like he drifted a hair low, skidded out. Did not miss a gate, though. That puts him back in. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Hang in there to the last possible moment. Steve Lawler fighting all the way down. He wants to cross that finish line. He wants to crack at run number 2. And it looks like he's going to get it. Steve Lawler.
Boy, Stephen Lawler from the United States fighting his way down the hill today. Poland's Igor Sikorski on deck.
Three skiers left. Sikorski from Poland, Iceland's Holmgrimsson, and then Greece's Kalaras.
Disappointing move there for Zagorski. What a great performance for him in the GS 2 days ago. Phenomenal skier, young to the circuit, but showing wisdom and experience well beyond his years. We'll be seeing lots more from this kid in coming seasons. Iceland's Johan Thor Holmgrimsson waiting for his opportunity to shine. I'm hanging out here at the base with Canada's Alex Cairns, who I'm very excited for. How did it feel to be in the gate knowing that you had to attack this track? I want you to think about that. I'm gonna come back to that in the next skier. Because on course, Iceland's Johan Thor Holmgrimsson waiting to shine.
Last couple of seconds. One more visual run through the course. Where's the tricky section? Where have you got to ski smart? Where can you drop the hammer? Those last couple of thoughts. Then freeing things up. Deep breaths. Start referee telling him it's go time. On course from Iceland, Johan Thor Holmgrimsson. Let's see how Jay Thor manages to handle his top sec. You can see it's grippy.
And slippery,
just got
really
sideways.
tough to try and find that right balance point on the track. Surely you can see he's struggling, a bit frustrated there, and also hoping that he doesn't slide further down the mountain. You know, to be honest, this is a game of attrition. Slalom always is. I'm really pleased and honestly pleasantly surprised to see how many competitors are attacking the hill today and coming across the line. We had a NORAM able-bodied ski race not but 2 weeks ago on hay fever, and first run there was 60% did not finish. Today I think we're doing a little better than that. These athletes are charging and skiing very, very well. Unfortunately for Johan Thor Holmgrimsson, not the race he was looking for or hoping for, but I expect more things coming from him in the future.
That leads us to our final skier of the first run this morning from Greece. A good friend of yours, Josh. Efthymios Kalaras.
Yeah, what a gentleman this fella is. He's coming at us from Summer Paralympics, where he's a multiple gold medalist in discus. Decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give this skiing thing a go. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it is.
How hard could it be?
He will admit that it is a great challenge, and that's why he's into it. Alex Cairns, how did it feel to be at home competing for Canada at the 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships? What was that like to be in the start for you today?
I've been to the hill before, but not that run, and it felt pretty over my head.
Pretty over your head, then how do you attribute your successes today? You skied a phenomenal run. Personally, I'm incredibly proud of you. I thought you skied smart and aggressive on that pitch, and then very smooth on the lower half. I'm stoked. Are you stoked?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Alex Cairns from Canada has a second run today, and he is in the hunt for a top 5 position.
Okay, so take a look at the slope right now with the movements of our coaches, technicians, and our volley crew. It would appear that our last skier of the morning, Kalaris from Greece, will not complete his run. If he's still racing, it's going to be really crowded out there, so I like to think that he's done. Our crew slipping things out. They will commence with the reset for run number 2. That will be coming at us this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'd love to have everybody come back. It's going to be a slightly shorter field. We're going to move through things a little bit quicker. We would love to have your enthusiasm. Once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was a great morning of awesome ski racing, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock with run number 2, the 5th and final event of this year's 2015 IPC Alpine Skiing World Championships. It's the slalom here at Panorama Resort, the beautiful Purcell Mountain Range, southeastern British Columbia, Canada.